this video we will discuss about immune response and the strategies to target PDAC. So, and what are the clinical approaches that has been developed to increase the efficiencies of the immune response against the PDAC. So, in the immune system, one of the important factors is this dendritic cells. Dendritic cells, you can call it as the mature form of antigen presenting cells. So, and dendritic cells gets activated through the antigen informations that is shown here as a peptide, which is provided by the CD4 plus T cells, and these dendritic cells will help in the development or forming the antigen specific antibodies or CD8 plus T cells, which has a cytotoxic effect against the tumors that has those antigen informations. And other strategies that can be done, that is used, is about this tumor associated macrophages, or more specifically the M1 type macrophages that has the tumor suppression properties. It will also helps the CD8 plus T cells. It will also help in the development of CD8 plus T cells that can target the PDAC. However, there are some tumor suppression, there are some immune cell suppression factors also present in the immune systems, such as T regulatory cells. Its function is to suppress the immune system response, and other things is this through the M2 macrophages, and we have discussed in one of our previous videos that M2 macrophages has tumor promotions or anti-tumor, it has tumor proliferations properties, this tumor M2 type macrophages. So it can also deactivate the T cells or suppress the activations of T cells through the interactions of this PD-L1 ligand on these PD-1 receptors for the T cells. And the myeloid derived suppressor cells can also prevent the activations of the CD4 plus T cells, and all these in terms will finally affect the formation of the CD8 plus T cells or cytotoxic T cells that can work against the PDACs or the tumor cells with the antigen present. So there are some clinical strategies, or the strategies that have been clinically developed to some extent. For examples, for this, in order to suppress these myeloid derived suppressive cells, they can use the CXCR2 inhibitions through this drug AZD5069, or CCR2 CCR5 inhibitions, and some of the other factors are also mentioned, such as epigenetic modifiers that are mentioned here, that is azithromycin and other things. CSF1 inhibitions can also be used to prevent this MDSC or myeloid derived suppressive cells to work against the inhibitions of the CD4 plus T cells. And the M2 macrophages can also be suppressed through the CSF1 inhibitions or this CCR2 inhibitions or PD-L1 or PD-1 inhibitions. So two of the examples are shown here, that is CSF1 receptors can be inhibited through the ligand so that it cannot interact with the CD4 plus T cells and suppress the CD4 plus T cells activations. Similarly, this PD-L1 ligand can be interacted with these PD-1 receptors so that it cannot interact with these PD-1 receptors for the CD4 plus T cells. And in terms of this regulatory T cells, they can use low dose cyclophosphamide or CTLA4 inhibitions, or this neuropilin 1 inhibitions. This will prevent the regulatory T cells to come and interact with the dendritic cells directly. And in order to suppress this M1 type macrophages or this CD40 M1 type macrophages, one can use the CD40 agonist or STING agonist or CD11B agonist. All these things will prevent the interaction of these tumor associated macrophages with the either with the CD8 plus T cells or the dendritic cells. Thereby, the tumor suppression properties of these M1 type macrophages can also be suppressed to some extent. And the other strategies are also shown here for some kind of vaccines and other immune checkpoint immune checkpoint blockade therapies related reagents are also there. This can also be used to some extent. However, we need to keep in mind that right now all these approaches will have some kind of side effect, as we are suppressing the immune response, or we are modifying the immune response through the artificial reagents. It might affect patients in some kind of side effects. These things should also be taken care in mind, and thereby the dosage of these drugs needs to be optimized individually based on their conditions. That's all for this video. If you need to understand more about their strategies in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. Thank you for your time.